welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles. I want to thank you out there for watching another video of mine. That's right, and you guys know what day it is. We're here for the Hot 10 Breakdown of the Week. That's right. If you're not familiar with what I do in this video, I take the 10 hottest comics according to the Key Collector app, and I break them down for you guys one by one, letting you guys know out there in the community if I'm buying these comics at these prices or if I'm staying the hell away. But before we get started, like always, guys, you guys know, once we hit 4,000 subs, I'm giving this sucker away. I told you guys from here on out, I'm going to be giving something out of my personal collection away every 1,000 subscribers from here on out. And we're just about almost at 4,000. I think we're about 600 and change away. Guess what, guys? This is the 4,000 sub giveaway. It is this awesome 1/10 scale Thanos diorama from Infinity War. I want to tell you, this thing is freaking awesome. It is nearly perfect for a Thanos statue. So do me a favor, go ahead, click that subscribe button for me, smash that like button, and let's give this sucker away as soon as possible. With that said, it's time for this week's breakdown. At the 10 spot this week is a copy of Batman number 222 in this iconic cover featuring the Beatles and a CGC 9.0, just sold last week for $700, up 17% since this past September. This book is up because of the world's finest variant that went on sale December 22nd of 2022, which is currently selling for $30. I'm not sure why Key Collector says this book is pushing up Batman number 222 just because the Beatles are on the cover. For me, if you're a huge Beatles fan, maybe you want to own this book, but there's no way in hell I'd spend $700 on a 9.0 copy. Insanity to me. Stay away from this book unless you're a massive Beatles fan. At number 9 this week is a copy of All-Star Western number 10 and the first appearance of Jonah Hex. You guys remember that awful movie with Thanos himself about a couple of years back? That's right, a CGC 5.0, just sold last week for $302, up only a measly 7% over the average. I am not a huge Jonah Hex fan. I'm not a fan of this book. I always see this book at my LCS or at local shows. Again, if I was more of a fan of this character, maybe it might be worth picking it up because maybe sometime down the line they're going to do a remake of this character, of this movie. But for now, I'm staying away. At number 8 on this week's list is a copy of Wolverine number 88 and the first battle between Wolverine and Deadpool. This book has been all over the internet once we got that announcement that Hugh Jackman himself will be in Deadpool 3, and a CGC 9.6 just sold the prior week for $290, up 51% over the average. Man, that is a massive jump in value over that average. To me, this is a $20 to $30 book max. I'm not paying any more than that for a copy of this book. Great storyline. Awesome that's the first time they battle, but for me, that's what it is. I'm not paying anywhere near the prices it's going for right now. At the 7th spot this week is a copy of Iron Man number 55 and the first appearance of Thanos, Drax, Eros, and Kronos, and a CGC 6.5 just sold last week for $800, up 9% over the average. Now, you guys know I enjoy this book. It's the first appearance of Thanos. That's the major first appearance in this book. That's why I want to own it. And again, for 6.5 for $800, it is not that bad in my opinion. If you want to own the book long term, I always will give it a blessing. If you want to own in the short term, I don't think you're going to get much of a pop. Not too sure why this book all of a sudden is on this list again, and it seems to be on and off the list every couple of months. With that said, I want to own the book for the long term, but for the short term, I'm staying away. At number 6 this week is What Else, a copy of Batman Adventures number 12 and the first appearance of our Princess Clown, Harley Quinn, in comics, and a CGC 9.4 just sold the prior week for $850, up 2% over the average. Again, 2% is not a lot when we're talking about this book. You guys know how I feel if you're watching the channel. I only want to own this book in a 9.8. Every other grade, I'm staying away. I know she's an incredibly popular character. You guys know that. I enjoy her in the films. Lady Gaga is going to knock it out of the park when she shows up in the Batman 2. But regardless, if you don't own a 9.8, again, for investment purposes, I'm staying away. If you love the character and you just want to own the book, then go ahead, be my guest. It's all good. At number 5 this week is one of my all-time favorite covers. It is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 316 and the third appearance of Venom. But not only that, this is his first cover appearance, an iconic Todd McFarlane cover, one of my favorite artists, and a CGC 9.8 just sold last week for $925, up 10% over the average. I do not believe you can go wrong owning this book. I would love to own a copy of this one in a 9.8. I actually bought a raw copy maybe a few months back, praying it will come back a 9.8. They have it graded a 9.4, 9.6. I'm hoping with the press, it will come back a 9.8. But who knows? Regardless, 100% I'm a buyer of this book. Just be careful at the price that you buy it, but the higher the grade, the better. At the 4th spot on this week's list is a copy of the Sentry number 1 and the first appearance of the Sentry, but not only that, this is the first appearance of the Void, the dark aspect of the Sentry, and a CGC 9.8, folks, just sold last week for $495, up 32% over the average. Now, you guys know when we see these large jumps in just a short period of time, this book was on the list last week, I tend to stay away. I do think the Sentry is going to have an important role going forward in the MCU, even if it's going to might only be for a short period of time. He's a great character, but I'm not spending $500 on a copy of this one, even though it is a 9.8. I'm waiting for this to die down a bit. They're thinking that he's going to be the main antagonist in the Thunderbolts movie, and that may happen, but I'm going to wait till after that all the dust settles and after everything goes away. If I'm going to pick up this book, it's going to be then. At the 3 spot on this list is another book that's been all over the list. It is a copy of Hulk number 1 and the first cover appearance of General Thunderbolt Ross as the Red Hulk. Again, this book has been all over the list. A lot of people have been buying this book over the past couple of months, ever since we got that announcement that we may see Harrison Ford take on the Red Hulk mantle, and a CGC 9.8 just sold last week for $350, up 10% over the average. Again, this is one of those modern books that I say I enjoy the book. I'm not a huge Red Hulk fan at all. I don't own a lot of modern books. This one may be worth it down the line, but for me, you're going to have to hold this book for a really long time for it's going to be worth it, in my opinion. For that fact, I'm staying away, but hey, if you're a big Red Hulk fan and you believe in the character, this one you may want to pick up. At number 2 on this list is a book I can't believe is back on this list. It is a copy of Man-Thing number 1 and the second appearance of Howard the Duck. Yes, that's true, but that's not the reason why this book is on this list. This is the first Man-Thing in his own solo title, and a CGC 9.2 just sold the prior week for $390, up 9% over the average. Again, I told you guys way back when we first got the Man-Thing in the Werewolf by Night show, I love the Man-Thing. I think he's an awesome character. This book is just going to the moon, and just nothing is stopping it. You can't buy this book here right now. You have to wait for all the dust to settle, and it drops back down to where it should be, I gotta be honest, between $100 and $150 at this grade. There's no way you should spend more than that, and to be honest, I'd rather have the first appearance in Savage Tales of the Man-Thing over this book. Enough said, I'm staying away. And it finally did it, guys. At the top spot, I think after 8 or 9 weeks on this list in a row, it is a copy of Omega Men number 3 and the first appearance of Lobo. It made it all the way to the top spot. And a CGC 9.8 just sold last week for $443, up 35% over the average. Man, this book just keeps climbing. I believe the high sale at a 9.8 right now is $450. Then we got that $405 last week. Now back up to $435 or $443, whatever the hell it is. Either way, stay the hell away from this book until it gets down to $350. And even then, you may not want to hold on to this one long term. I think James Gunn may do an awesome job with this character, especially if Jason Momoa takes the role. But regardless, I think this book is way overpriced for what it is. I love the character. I don't love the price. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really want to thank you for sticking with me. This one is a long one, but a lot of new books, and unfortunately some of the same crap keeps coming on this list. But now it's time for my best buy of the week, and I had to do it as between 2 books. I'm going with Amazing Spider-Man number 316 and the first cover appearance of Venom. Venom's hugely popular. Again, I love him more as a villain as opposed to an anti-hero, but regardless, it's an awesome cover to boot. That's why it's my top pick this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.